This video will demonstrate how to add client accounts to the eLog application. Adding clients is very easy. There are only a few steps involved. First, you'll add your client information. Next, you'll assign GPS units to your client accounts. And finally, you'll give your new client a login account for access into the system. A fourth and optional step will allow you to change the default password that the system assigns when creating login accounts. The default password is eTrack1 and can be changed if necessary. Once you're logged into the system, click the Client Management tab. From this screen, you could add and edit all of your client information. Add a unique client ID. Add your client name. Select a time zone for the client. And enter the client email address and client description. You can now add a home address for that client. And to save time, I've entered the address already. Enter the client contact information. And finally, save and close the record. The information listed in the contract section is optional at this time. Once you begin billing this client, you'll simply edit the record and add the appropriate information here. Now that your client has been entered into the system, you could begin attaching GPS units. Enter the GPS ID number. This should be a unique identifier for each GPS unit and should match the GPS unit ID that's listed in the feed itself. Select the client which you wish to attach or assign the GPS unit to, and enter a GPS description if necessary. You can repeat this process for each GPS unit that you wish to incorporate into your system. For large GPS lists, we have the ability to import those lists for you, eliminating the need for manual input. You can ask your technical support representative for details on this feature. Finally, the last thing that needs to be done for your clients is to give them a login account so they have access into the system. Give each system user a unique login ID. Select the account type. If this were an internal user account in your company, you would select partner. But for clients, obviously select the client account type. And select the client ID that you wish to attach that user login account to. Enter the username and email address for that user. Finally, give the user administrative rights and save and close. As I mentioned, each user must be unique in the system, and this ID already exists. So I'll simply add a number to it. And we've now created that user account. As I mentioned before, the system automatically assigns a password of eTrack1 to each user account as it's created. If necessary, you could use the change login password function to change passwords for each of your users. And your client is now set up. GPS units have all been assigned. You can now provide the client with the user account that you have just set up, and they will be able to gain access to the system.